Alright y'all, before we get into the video, I just want to talk to y'all because of everything that's been happening. Obviously Tyler hasn't been around the last couple months really.
And I guess I was wrong for keeping silent to y'all.
So we're not gonna mention the one person that this is about. So the reason anyone was even talking about this is because Mopi tweeted L-Hype. So you mean to tell me you have a 45-minute video, you have nothing to say?
In order to understand this video, you need to know who I am. My name is Mike Maradian, aka the Flight Mike. I've been involved in the NBA 2K community at some capacity for about a decade, starting in NBA 2K10 and continuing on to this year. I have collaborated with
Against the Flight Mike.
That a football jersey?
We're playing the Flight Mike.
What is he wearing?
While I do have a really good relationship with each and every person involved in this type of situation, I can't help but see specific things that are occurring right in front of my eyes. And as a grown-ass 27-year-old man that has been making YouTube videos for about a decade, that understands how the YouTube algorithm works, I figured I could do a little bit of a deep dive into what you guys could trust and what you guys can't trust, and what seems legitimate and what doesn't seem as legitimate to me, because there are specific people that will look at specific things that these individuals are saying and say you're full of it, and then there's specific people that probably are too young to understand what's going on and will just blindly side with those individuals that they like. So what's going on, guys? Your boy Mike here. This is my very first news type of video on my FlightMikeTV channel, and since I've been part of the 2K community on and off for about a decade, I figured, well, I'd cover a beef that it seems like every small channel is talking about, but since I've made videos with, I don't know, Chris London, TDPresents, Jester the Laser, Cash Nasty Gaming, and I've seen beefs like this before, well, I figured I will talk about it a little bit because it gets to a point where I just feel like it's worth mentioning. And to the individual that's watching this video thinking that it's a guy that has only 24,000 subscribers who is just trying to grow a small channel, well, if you could see at my social blade for my main channel and my second channel, I don't necessarily need that. As a matter of fact, if you compare it to LSK's, we're doing very well. God bless you guys. The main reason I'm making this video is I don't like seeing audiences manipulated. I built my brand off of the truth and discussing the truth. I also was bullied as a little kid, and after watching multiple individuals, some which I know to some degree get bullied and mistreated, well, I just couldn't help but point out some facts to you guys, and I'm gonna let you guys come up with your own decision yourselves. First of all, I think it's important that you completely separate Cash Nasty from this situation. At least in my experience, I haven't had a conversation with the man in almost 2 years. I reached out to him about some YouTube problem I was having in terms of someone giving me a copyright strike. He reached out on behalf of me to help me. So I'm just trying to make a testament to the man's character, try to leave him out of this. There's specific things you need to know about these individuals before we get started. First, Jester the Laser and LSK both came into the NBA 2K community during a similar period of time. Jester was already fairly established on NBA 2K, pretty much by emulating the exact same formula that KSI and the Sidemen emulated for FIFA content onto NBA 2K, which resulted in great success for him. At the same time, Chris London is a player that had some issues playing basketball throughout his entire career and his entire life due to mainly injury concerns. Regardless, he was able to create a very successful brand for himself based off of vlogs, and since he's always been good at basketball, I guess he felt the need to branch out into basketball gaming. The first thing you need to know about this entire situation is LSK's first NBA 2K video was a diss track, and the reason why this is important is, well, LSK has always been very successful at leveraging drama to grow his brand. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. Some people know how to navigate drama really well, some people not so much. And throughout the entire scenario, you will see that there were opportunities that these individuals would have had to stick up for friends of theirs, but they decided to turn their back on them just for the sake of making sure that their name stays clear. Now, it's important to know that 2Hype also was officially established circa 2015/2016, and the concept was very simple. Jester the Laser had a lot of subscribers, Chris London was a well-known face and brand, Cash Nasty Gaming was the top NBA 2K streamer at the time, Zach TTG's a likable guy, and hey, let's get a bunch of our buddies together and make some videos. Well, what started as a very innocent basketball supergroup turned into a fairly toxic culture. You see, after Lost and Unbound's whole sweatshot dilemma came out, which I guess we could make a video on that as well. I'm personally very close with the individual. After that piece of information came out where Lost and Unbound was accused of mistreating his editors, you saw two best friends, Jester the Laser and Lost and Unbound, cease to befriend one another anymore. I guess mainly because they felt like LNU's image was destroyed. This laid the framework for the more astute individual as to how Jesse likes to handle his online YouTube relationships with individuals who he sees are trending downward. Not to say that Greg was trending downward, because he still did upload videos successfully for a period of time, but essentially you saw a man that was trending downward due to a bad PR situation, and everyone that he was associated with pretty much turned their back on him. And well, you would see that trend be followed multiple times over and over again. You see Malcolm, Cash Nasty's best friend, would join, TDPresents would join, and eventually LosPollosTV would join. Now, each of these individuals brought something different to the table. Malcolm was Cash Nasty's best friend, and the logic there was, hey, Jidel is Jester's brother, let me bring in my friend so we could help him be successful as well. The intentions in the very beginning, as you guys could tell, were very pure. TDPresents was mainly a football YouTuber that provides us a brand new avenue as well. But even then, TD wanted to bring in his friend Walker, which resulted in some problems as well, which is TD's story to tell and not so much mine, because I really don't know much about that situation. The biggest issue was probably the situation between Luis, aka LosPollosTV on Twitch, and Chris London, because you see, Los was really good friends with Zach TTG, who was originally a Twitch streamer primarily and then became a YouTuber secondarily, LSK, and Jesser. They all collaborated frequently and they were all a tight-knit group. But the issue was when Los wanted to move to LA and the fact that he wanted to focus more on streaming as opposed to making YouTube videos. You see, according to Los, he prioritized his live streaming career before creating content with the rest of the 2Hype crew. The 2Hype crew wanted to just make YouTube videos first, but when Los was in his room live streaming as opposed to coming out to make videos with them, they perceived Los as lazy.
Told you, and we made it clear, I've made it clear that, dude, we want to be a YouTube group. We want to make YouTube videos. If
there's a group channel that has one video a week, you don't think I could have done one video a week? This is about money. This is about managers not fucking with me. This is about managers not liking my content because I curse and I'm not a little fucking puppet fucking weirdo. This is what this is about. I don't know why you won't admit it. Maybe because you just don't want people to really know what you're about. But that's what this is all about. This is all about just not wanting people to know what you're really about. And it's money over friendships. A bigger piece of the pie over friendships.
Apparently, LosPollosTV was kicked because, well, I kind of buy what he's saying, because he probably wasn't marketable enough to be part of the group, which is kind of on brand for someone that curses in streams, which makes a lot of sense from a business perspective. But obviously, if you're going to kick a friend out of the group, well, that guy's not going to really be your friend anymore. If you go on the internet and say it's because he's lazy, well, chances are that individual isn't going to like you as much. What I'm trying to say here is both sides make sense. 2Hype wanted to make more money, and in order to get there, they had to kick out a friend of theirs that just didn't fit the group's image. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't necessarily know why TDPresents was kicked, and it seems like he's about to make a very big video on the reason why he was kicked. The main reason I made this video is, well, I saw several tweets on Twitter that I just wanted to dispel for you guys because, well, there's specific things I could tell you is a blatant lie just based off of my experiences as a successful YouTuber. Look at these tweets from Jidel. I'm not in the business of talking bad about people, never have, never will, but obviously anytime someone says something that they don't typically do, they're probably going to break what they do. But there's things I'm hearing about me and the people I care most about that are completely untrue. Now you have to also understand, this is Jesser's brother, so yeah, I think he might have a slight bias here. Old house, I never spent my day laying in bed. I edited all of my videos up until January of 2019, and even then was still editing some. To say we didn't put in effort is disingenuous. I got myself sick from stress editing and posting 29 out of the 30 days of June of 18. Now, look, is this the truth? It could be. Is it most possibly and most probably a lie? Yeah. When you're in a YouTube group with, I don't know, multiple other successful YouTubers, you have millions of subs, chances are you're not bothering yourself with editing very, with all due respect, very generic rebuild videos. You just aren't. You probably found some dude on the internet to edit all of that stuff for you, toss him hopefully at the very minimum 2 bills to do so because it's very grueling work. Then you're going to spend the rest of your time doing other stuff, which is probably what you did. Which, is this a lie? Possibly, but I have nothing to back up my claim. I'm just saying what a smart YouTuber with millions of subs that's influenced by other YouTubers with millions of subs would probably do. The next thing he says is also pretty absurd. Splitting 2Hype into smaller divisions for better brand deal payouts never was discussed and never even thought of. Group payments are larger with more members involved, as is reach of a group. This doesn't even make sense from a logical standpoint. So what Jidel's trying to tell you is, hey, if you're a YouTuber with a bunch of followers and you're combining with other YouTubers with a ton of followers, you're going to get paid more money as a group. That's not how this works. You see, if you told someone that's not in this business that exact thing, chances are they'll believe you. But the reality of the situation is brands have budgets, and they're not going to bring in a group of people that have the exact same type of fans, the exact same followers, interested in the exact same things, in and pay them more because their reach is bigger, mainly because that audience isn't diverse enough to do so. So as a result, the smaller 2Hype is, the more pie each and every member of 2Hype gets. He then goes on to say we're all solely driven by money. My CPM on rebuild videos exceeded over $12 at times. I've never reached that number or close since. I gave that up for rates half of that because the content made me happier. The biggest brand deal I've ever been offered, I turned down. You know what's a huge tendency in someone that's lying? They'll try to say whatever it takes to make sure that they appease and appeal to whoever is reading the tweet. So if you read the beginning part of the tweet, his beginning point is we're all solely driven by money. But his final sentence is the biggest brand I've ever been offered, I turned down. So are you solely driven by money or are you money hungry? Because look, if you're a businessman, there's nothing wrong with being money hungry. God knows how many ads I'm going to put on this video. And like the whole reason I'm making a video about this is because it's 2Hype. They're probably going to get a lot of clicks. I'm going to make a lot of money. Nothing wrong with admitting that. But over here, if you're not trying to convey that you're money hungry and you're also trying to convey that, hey, I turned down my biggest brand deal, you're pretty much just trying to convey, hey, I'm money hungry and hey, I'm not greedy at all. You're pretty much just trying to get people to like you, and this tweet kind of does the opposite here. Take it from me, take it from a guy that makes videos that are literally a third of the length of Jidel's. He is lying. There is no way, shape, or form that this dude gets $6 CPMs. I am sorry, this drives me insane. If you don't know what a CPM is, it's the amount of money you get paid per 1,000 views on a YouTube video. Typically, the longer your video is and the better job you do at retaining the viewer, the higher your CPM will be. And by the way, in the middle of December, like December 13th, 14th, and 15th-ish, that's when your CPM is at its highest. So bear in mind that's when this drama all started. I don't mean any disrespect to Jidel, but I don't think he does any of the business for himself. I don't even think he understands how it works. I feel like he has other people doing it for him, and more props to him. If I was in his position, I'd probably be doing the same too. It's just these tweets don't make any sense at all whatsoever, and I don't mean to roast the man here, because I'm sure he's a cool guy, but these tweets are just blatant lies, or just are illogical from the standpoint of a YouTuber. To give you an idea, I just started doing like 35-minute career simulations, and my CPM just got to $12. If anything, it's supposed to get higher than that. This isn't my first week, by the way. It takes about a few months for YouTube to fully give you the CPM you deserve and give you that high, juicy CPM. My assumption is Jidel makes a CPM of about $18 to $20, which I don't think is bad. If anything, it's great. And this is the official phone call that features LSK and TTG discussing how they're going to move on past TD. And I'm going to let you decide how you want to interpret it yourself. And I want to give a shout out to Lyrics because, you know, I grabbed it from him.
Tight schedule that we're going to start doing now that we've moved out, we're getting settled in. Like, things are going to move really quick and like at a large scale, and like we didn't want to just put it like the group channel out and stuff and like not have you like aware, and then also like given that we see like we're kind of like foreshadowing, like looking forward to where this movement's going to go, and like we didn't see like you being like a part of it. We also just wanted to like come to you and, like, we'd hope that you could build like your own narrative as to how like we're not like together, and like, you know, we wanted you to like let us know like how you wanted to go about that. Like, are you like, do you plan on, because we didn't want to like publicly say this and everything. I think like we told Los, like you guys can like build your narrative, you know, like
yeah, we want to like we want it to be like you are like stepping away from Too Hype and going your own way because you want to focus on yourself, and like you feel like it would be easier to do it, you know, that way. We also don't want to just come out and say like, yeah, we kicked TD out, and like have like some sort of negative connotation towards you, or have the fans have some negative connotation towards you, because we don't want to affect you on that. And like Cash was saying, like it's not like, and Chris was saying, it's not like we still can't make videos. Like it's not like you can't come over, or, like can't play games together. You can't text us whenever you need something. Like we're still boys. Yeah.
As much as I know people are going to probably take this leaked call and run with it, I feel like TTG and Chris are being really nice here. You know, he doesn't want to come out and say, hey, we're kicking you out of the group. We're moving on from you. We don't like your content. We don't want to work with you guys. I think what they're saying here is extremely noble and very professional. They're saying that they're stepping away from the group, but what's really happening is they are, I guess, being kicked from the group, but just to make them not look as bad, they're letting them step away to say that they're focusing on their careers, and I feel like that just makes everyone look better as opposed to creating some BS drama. But here's the thing, and here's where I have a huge problem with what's going on. This narrative is okay. TD is stepping away, Los is trying to focus on streaming. Is it the truth as to what's happening? No. But you can't always give your audience the truth in these situations. And in defense of Zach and Chris, if you look at what happened with Cash and Malcolm, they're still boys. Cash reacts with Malcolm on his channel on a consistent basis. He's doing whatever it takes to give his boy a career. They had a healthy breakup. Yeah, they're best friends. They're really close. But you shouldn't do business with your friends, because this is what typically ends up happening. Nevertheless, Cash made it right with Malcolm. He still appears in his videos, and he still throws him over. So props to him. So what Zach and Chris were offering TD and Los was still something that wasn't that bad of an offer. Yeah, we're not officially part of Too Hype, but we're gonna appear in your videos, we'll do collaborations, you have a lifelong connect in us. What's going on with Mopi is downright disgusting, and the way Jesse and Chris are coming off when it comes to trying to save their face not only looks bad, but it looks unhealthy and very desperate. If you saw Chris's face in this entire 45-minute video, which he has since deleted, not only does he seem very rambly, but he is just completely out of context, isn't constructing proper narratives, trying to do whatever it takes to pander to his audience, and just for probably the thing that bugs me the most, looks downright depressed and miserable. And a part of me feels extremely empathetic because I never want to see anyone go through something like that, no matter what they're going through, especially someone who I've had mainly positive experiences with. But this video by Jesse that is claiming that Mopi is losing his mind to save his own face and then sending a cease and desist letter to Mopi just to make sure 2Hype's name isn't slandered is just downright horrible in my opinion. And I'll link you to the video because, you know, I don't want this video to get struck down potentially. And it's the video on Jesse's channel, but it just seems wrong and manipulative to try to defame a character like that, especially someone that you consider to be a very close friend of yours.
Like uploading on social media, he's been going through a lot mentally, been fighting some serious demons. I'm not gonna go too in-depth on that as his personal thing, but Tyler, I'm worried about you, dude. Like I said, I would take this whole thing offline. I reached out to your mom, expressing my worries. I talked to your brother for an hour, bro. He's really worried about you. Like you've been hiding things from him. Tyler, I tried calling you. Please just call me back. You don't respond to me or the guys. Like, we want to help you. I'm not gonna go in depth. It's very personal, all of this stuff. Like, Tyler, I literally saw you the other day after this happened. I told you I loved you, bro. You hugged me and then you don't respond to me.
What's cringe, Los, to me, you can look as cool as you want online, but please just stop.
Thank you. You like my haircut?
Stop, because, fam,
you like my haircut?
Completely aware, and you were so close to being a part of it. So, like, how am I supposed to know, bro? Like, dude, look at these screenshots.
Listen to Chris, man. Does that sound like a person that is doing okay currently? Does that sound like a man with his thoughts collected? Does that sound like a man that's even confident in his own narrative? Hell, he even deleted his video. I don't know. I just wanted to get all my thoughts onto paper and a video. I truly wish that everyone involved in this situation does better. I hope everyone gets better. I hope everything becomes resolved. I hope things end in a better way. I really have tremendous love for everyone in this video. 2Hype has done some incredible things with their brand and have shattered barriers that I personally never thought were possible. And TD and Los are ridiculously successful in what they do. So hopefully, especially now that 2020 has come to a close, we're going to see some positivity as a result from this entire situation. Let me know what you guys think about this situation in the comment section down below. And if you want me to do a follow-up video on this, because God knows how much news we're going to get about this situation. Aside from that, I'm your boy, the Flight Mike, and I'm dropping my mic until our next upload.